What is going on, peeps? How are we doing tonight? Excited for more civic action? Are we digging the tunes? We got the lights popping off. They got their old party thing going on tonight, so switch it up a little bit. Try something different. So I can skip there. We'll wait for a few people, and then we'll get going here. What up, buddy? What's going on? How are you doing tonight? You ready to see me build or finish building a Civic? Finish. We all know none of these cars ever get finished, so. We'll give it another minute and we'll dive right into it. Chilling, they never do this. That's the fun. Yeah, that is the fun of it. The super stressful fun. But it's the fun of it. That's why we keep at it. Imagine if everyone finished their project build. Like, imagine how that would be. Like, what type of world that'd be. Everyone would have a car running on the road, finish in a couple weeks. It would just cause people to go through a car like non-stop. All right, folks, what do you say? Should we dive into this now? All right. So, first off, how's the music? Is it too loud? You guys can hear me well? We would never be content, always want more, and continue building new. It's true, we'd be building rockets. Like legitimate rockets, like trying to go in outer space, because we would have built every single car. Everything would have been done. Loud and clear. I'm Gucci. Dope, dope, dope. Alright, let's hop into it. Alrighty. So, this is the Civic we built in the last live stream. And it has a few flaws and a few things that I would desperately like to change. Now, this is a base Civic Si, so this is not my car. This isn't a representation of what I drive right now. This is just, we wanted to build a stock Si, because now we're going to add on to it. We're going to correct some things, lower it. Basically, we're going to make it my Si today. And then we might do something a little bit more time dependent, but let's get to it and see what we can do right now. So just a reminder, the car makes 205 horsepower to the crank and 174 foot-pounds of torque, which is exactly what my car makes, so pretty accurate. Curb weight is exactly what the car is. I actually recently just corner balanced my car, and it came out to exactly this. So it's a heavy Civic, but that's just the way cars are now. Red line, everything else is pretty much identical. The only thing is that the weight balance is a little bit off. I guess this game doesn't really let you just kind of do those type of things. It tries to retain some stability. So right off the bat, let's go back to. So I did play around with this a little bit after the stream. So all I did was fix the license plate not being like in the bumper, and same with the back there. But one thing everyone was on me about is that this wing has got to go. So let's fix that right off the bat. I also did some investigating and just trying to figure out why I was having such a hard time finding things that I needed to get this build done, and seeing builds online and seeing like how's everyone getting this stuff done. Turns out a lot of it is mods. So did install a few mods on here, and I found this wing, so we're gonna plop this on here. Maybe not that one. I think there's a version of this wing that we're going after. There we go. So my wing has the light built into it. So wanted to do that. And my wing does angle back just slightly. So it does do this kind of, well, actually, just flip it around so you guys can see it. So my wing does do this angle back bit here. So we're just gonna get it situated a little bit nicer. That looks a lot better. Let me see what the other ones are, just to see if they look a little bit closer to what we're going after, but I think that's going to be it. So that was the second one. What's this one here? Not quite, but that did just give me an idea. Let's try the last one here. Yep, that looks right. And it does slope back. I think that's it. What do we think? Is that a winner? Let's get a little closer to it. Yeah, I think that's it right there. Has the right angle on it. Right slope. Brake lights there. Wow, what's going on? I adore the rear handles. Yeah. Yeah. Last stream, someone really. That's something we gotta take care of because my my brain just really has a hard time looking at that. Like real hard time. I will say this is pretty dope. Honestly, I came across this game by one of the YouTubers I watch, Jimmy Broadbent. He used this game a lot just to build these crazy like track machines and all this stuff. And then I started exploring a little bit more, and people were like building their like reps of their own cars, and I'm like, you know what? It'd be phenomenal to build a SI and then just kind of go from there. And then we can actually mod it and do the things we want to do to it. So it's glorious. Yeah, the door handles. I think I was like that was the first thing I wanted to do, but I feel like it adds some character to the car. I wanted this to be realistic, but I don't know. It drives me nuts. Alright, so that was probably the biggest thing. Now we're going to look at this grill. So the grill I did tweak a little bit just to see if I can make it a little bit better, but with no real success. And the problem is I'm having is that the grill on my car is kind of flush with everything else, and this dips in what looks like about like 4 inches probably. So I really don't want that. Now I did find some mods for grills, so we can take a look at some of them right now, but they all seem to do the same thing no matter which one you're looking at. Like even though I was looking at this one here, does the same thing. Just looking here, trying to see if there's something. Now, one thing I did see, and I'm willing to give it a go, is a guy just literally got like mesh, like this mesh, and just kind of cut out the bumper and put it on there. So we're going to see if that's something that we can do. I haven't done that before. I really don't honestly know how that would even work. But we're adventurous, right? So, yeah, I think it was this right here. And The car has like these hexagon. So actually first, let's delete the grill. Yeah, this looks so much... Without that grill, this looks exactly like a Model 3 front end. Like, headlights excluded from it. It's pretty... Yeah, it's pretty there, but... Alright, so let's see what this does. Oh, this just plops itself on there? No. Oh gosh. Undo. The game seems to have had a bit of an issue here. I don't know what's going on. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's give it another swing here. So it looks like that mesh is just a panel. So we need to be able to cut out what we need here. See if we can find something here that would let us do that. Oh, we could raise the hoist? Oh. Oh. And we've been working in... Actually, yeah, working in air is way better. What am I saying? I'm having a moment here. Okay, so what else do we have on the side here? Engine? What does that do? Oh, toggles with the engines there. Oh, we could just remove all the fixtures from the car. Okay. Don't want to do that. Suspension. No, we want to see the suspension. That's pretty cool though. This really gives us a good view at what type of suspension we have going on here. So this is the multi-link setup, which now with this view, getting a better look at it, it's actually very similar to what's going on in the Civic. It doesn't have the one arm in the back here. And it's just a modified version of this, it looks like. Now, the Civic has the shock and then the coil separately. That's one other thing. But outside of that, pretty damn good. And the front, we got coilovers, but that's pretty much spot on. Where's our engine? There it is. Facing the wrong way, but that's fine. Okay. Let's get wheels back on this thing. Alright. So let's get right in front of the grill here and get to work. Looking for one that doesn't recess so much. Even with the mods, I literally just don't think it exists, guys. We can give this one a go, see what happens. See if they have the right one. Doesn't look like a proper grill. Same issue. But there's no chrome on it this time, so that's a positive. See if we can pull it outwards. No. Real gangster lean that back there if we wanted to. That's a little bit closer because it didn't have the chrome around it. That might be it. That might be the solution. That might be it. I don't want to spend too much time doing all this stuff because I have some better things planned for you guys, but wanted to try to make this a little bit better. Yep, that looks like it's it. That's it. All right. That's a spoon engine with T60s. Motex exhaust system. You know it. It's crazy how that whole line has aged. Like people now are like, Motec make exhaust systems back then? Like, oh man. Fast and Furious. What's your guys' favorite Fast and Furious movie? I'm actually curious about this. Yeah, I think that's gonna be all right. I'm sorry, Val. Sorry, Literate Monkey. I gotta change these door handles. This is absolutely unacceptable. Oh, so much better. Now this one's crooked. Oh. Oh no, what have I done? We need a TMP mod in BNG so we can practice eating off of one hit. This is true. This is true. Alright, 0. Let's see what 0 looks like. Alright, we don't want 0, we want -10. Nope. Oh. 2 degrees. What's this one? Minus 180. Isn't that just... Nah, it doesn't look right. Only OGs now. I would say Tokyo Drift. Tokyo Drift was really, honestly, my favorite car in the whole Fast and Furious franchise is that Evo from Tokyo Drift. That thing made me really fall in love with Evos. That changed my mind a lot when it came to what was like the pinnacle of like the tuner car for me, because I was all Type R no car, and I think realistically I still am, but it was yeah, it was seeing that. Joven, what's going on, man? I'm doing good. We're building my Civic in automation because I definitely don't want to go outside and work on it. So why not work in this crazy facility? Let's take a moment to look at this facility. Like, I want to know if this was modeled after a real place and who works there, because if I got to build and design a car in this like, I don't even know. I guess if you're a designer, you're gonna work in somewhere that's pretty nicely designed, but this is phenomenal. Kinda want it to be real now. So you say Tokyo Drift, eh? Tokyo Drift is definitely on that list for me, but I almost... See, I think after Tokyo Drift, they just all started getting nuts, eh? Old cars were great, but the RX-7 Veilside, hands down, was my old. Yeah, that okay, yeah, the Veilside RX-7 was nuts, and that whole drifting scene, yeah, that was pretty cool. A little corny, I guess you could kind of say, but I get it. I'm with it. All right. So, I think I'm going to wrap the Civic up there and say that we're good. There's not a whole lot more I want to change. It is an SI. There's only a few things I wanted to tweak a little bit. I don't know what's going on with the license plate here. If I move it in more, it just kind of floats away or disappears. So the plate's going to kind of have to stay like that, I think. Oh, I just shrunk it. Yeah, I think that's going to be... Oh, wait, can I rotate it? Oh, it rotates that way. All right. So we're going to back up now. So we have this. What we're going to do is we're going to duplicate it. So clone. I want to clone everything. Civic Si clone. We'll give it a better name soon. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to make it basically what my car is today. There's a few mods that I have that are going to be coming in the next couple of weeks. I will keep you guys posted about those, but for the most part, I don't think any of them really. It's like oil coolers and stuff like that, so I don't really think that's really too important for this. So we're gonna go back to the engine. And we're gonna start it off from there. So just a little refresher, I guess. Obviously, 4-cylinder, all aluminum engine, dual overhead cam, 4 valves, and it is a 2354 cc engine. All right, so I think the first thing I want to switch. So before we were bouncing around about which of these balancing items the engine was using or we wanted to use. To make the stock power and to make it line up, I had to end up using the harmonic dampener. The balance shaft just kind of skewed the numbers and it made it like really hard to try to finesse it back to where it needed to, because it would add extra torque and it would just kind of bounce all over the place. It wasn't exactly what we needed, but the car is definitely more reliant on the balance shafts. It has more of a crank pulley with a rubber insulation ring on it. So I don't know if I would really call it a harmonic dampener. I don't know how that kind of works there. I'm pretty sure Honda calls it just a crank pulley too. So we're gonna go for balance shafts. We do lose a little bit of power, but that is okay. Everything obviously is stock inside the engine. I haven't done anything there. Same with the cam profiles, all that stuff. Haven't touched anything internal of the engine. Do not have it boosted yet. All right, so we'll put it on the spicy fuel. You can see that does absolutely nothing for the power, but it is what I run. Fuel mixture. So I actually have the car tuned. So my fuel mixer is a little different. So I'm going to bring it up to 12.3. We lose a little bit of power there, but everything stays a little cooler. Now for timing, I have the timing pretty advanced. So let's see what we can do without it causing knock in here, because that's basically the route that I went. I'm going to say probably 70, 75 is where I'm at. Let's see where it starts knocking. I think that will kind of give us an idea. Or it won't knock. Look at that. Alright. I'm going to bring it back a little bit because I'm not running that much crazy timing in the car. So I'll say it's probably around the 80 mark. So we'll do that. So you can see we already made a bit of a power gain pretty much across the entire power band by just being able to add a little bit more timing to it. RPM limit has been raised to 75,000 RPM. So that's basically what we're looking at right now. Alright, so for the header, I want to keep it the same because both of them are technically tubular headers. I think I explained it before how this Civic or this engine doesn't have the individual exhaust ports for each of the cylinders. It's just one giant collector. So I think I'm going to leave it like that because both of them technically are tubular. I do have a 3-inch exhaust on the car. And look at the power gain. Not much in torque. So we're almost at 230 horsepower, but let's see. The torque's 181. Literally 0.1 foot-pounds of torque gain. It seems like 2 3/4 is actually the torquier setup, but we'll see. We have a high flow cat. We have a straight through first muffler, and then we have a baffled second muffler. So it's not bad. We're making quite a bit more power, and a lot of that torque that the car is making has moved up now quite a bit into the 55,000 RPM range. And look how flat the torque curve is. It makes over 180 foot-pounds of torque from 42,000, let's call it, to 42,000 to 59,000. So that's a pretty broad torque band where it's just making the exact same amount of torque. And even a little bit below that, it does come up quite a bit, but even at 3,000 RPM, 156 is not bad given what it is. And even towards the top end here, it's still making 170 at 7,000 RPM. So not bad. I want to say the quality. So when we increase the quality, more power, less noise, lower weight. It is a full race exhaust, so it is a higher quality product. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a quality boost. We'll say it's like a 5 compared to stock. I would say like a titanium handcrafted exhaust is probably the higher end of the quality list, but this is still a handmade exhaust, but not titanium. So this is a big one here. Big one for me anyways. So I found a mod. So this valve cover is automation. We're going to get rid of that. And we're going to put a VTEC valve cover on here. Dual overhead cam. Now I know this is technically a B series valve cover, but I could not resist. So I saw that, thought it was pretty dope. Put that in there. One other thing, we had the intake installed. So we already had a performance high intake on here. The next one is a race, which is ITBs, which is not what I have. So I think I'm just gonna leave it at that. But the quality of it, again, the quality shows you there. It does some things there: lower emissions, better fuel economy. I don't really see it making more power though, so maybe that won't be the move. Let's see if that changed anything power wise. No, leaves it the same. All right, no worries. We'll leave it like that. So now it's making 241 horsepower and 188 foot-pounds of torque, which honestly is probably pretty accurate. This is again just crank horsepower. People with this setup, when they dyno it, they make about 200 horsepower and like 175, 180 foot-pounds of torque to the crank. So basically, it takes those crank numbers and now makes it to the wheel. So something like this is probably really representative of that. So No password JDM. Yeah, no, they're lacking the intake area. I'm kind of disappointed with that. Like if you get a standard one, that's what it looks like. A performance one. Both the performance ones look identical. And then it's just like ITVs. So a little bit disappointed with that. I know they could probably do a lot better. But that is okay. It is what it is. It's what the game provides us, is what we will use. So that's the power we're making now. Let's just see what it sounds like. I'm actually gonna try to lower the game sound just so it doesn't blow everyone's ears apart. That should help there. Yeah, I'm not too sure why it sounds like a tractor when it starts its pull. It doesn't sound good at all until it gets into like the mid power range. Then it actually starts sounding like a proper engine, and then it goes back to not sounding good. Definitely gotta step up their mods. Yeah, you know what? I'm not too sure if someone has made a mod for different intakes. That wouldn't be too bad of a thing. Someone came up with a valve cover mod, so I don't see why someone wouldn't want to make an intake mod. So good point. Good point. We'll see about that in the future. Let's do one more pull with that. I'm gonna lower the right volume this time. And then just show you the engine actually this time. See that exhaust getting nice and toasty there? Alright, I'll bring up the audio now that we're not being deafened. Better check your... No, this is a case. This is a case series. Like, they don't burn oils. Hondas don't burn oil. That's a myth. They just, you know, recycle it for different purposes later. They don't actually burn oil. So that's everything with the engine. Oh, it's crazy. And this is, it allows us to do so much, and this is just kind of like building a Honda motor. There are so many things. Like, if we go back here a little bit, if you look at the engine options we have here, there's two different type of V engines we can go to. I think it'll let us do a V16 if we have the mod, or it'll let us do a V12. It's got a boxer engine here too. We can do turbo builds to make like 3,000 horsepower. It's nuts. So we're just scraping into it. We're just teasing a little bit. All right, so now we got the power side of that more sorted out. Let's take a look at some of the other things here. So we'll start with the front. Two notable things that are different are my headlights, and I have a lip on my car. The headlights actually, Yeah, they are different. So I think we'll take care of the headlights first. So we'll delete those. Let's look at some options that we have for headlights. And it's crazy. Like, look how there's so many options here for headlights. Now it's just about finding the right one. You guys dig into tunes? I found this playlist from guy's name's Harris Heller, and he does this. He has this company called Stream Beats. So basically, allows you to stream his music onto your channel, and it's dope. He has so many different genres and playlist options. You know what, honestly, I think this might be the closest that we're going to get because I do have the LED strip on the bottom. Good vibe tunes. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All these headlight options, and I can't find one that really makes sense. Those are tail lights, indicators. I do find with this game it does kind of cater more to like the 2000s, maybe like a bit of early 2010s, but like I don't really see a lot of stuff that are 2015, 2022, and I think that's just because, you know, it's hard to incorporate that stuff so quickly. I think that I might actually going back with a headlight that was very similar to what was on there, and then we're just going to change the housing color. So we'll pop these on there. And then yeah, we're going to change the housing color. So this is the housing inside there. So mine's like a matte plastic. Actually, it's more glossy. See what that looks like. That looks about right. Doesn't have the LED strip, but it looks the closest to what's actually on there. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the chrome, so we'll do that. We'll do the same thing for the grill. If it'll let us. Okay. Cool. Oh no. It's happened again. Oh, it lets us change the pattern here too. Doesn't seem like it's going to let us do that. Alright, let's get out of this so it stops doing that thing. Oh, still is. I don't know what it's alerting me about here. Ah yes, but this grill I should be able to change the chrome. Because it has this chrome around here and we don't want that. Alright, glossy plastic. Glossy plastic. It's weird that it lets me change that, but it won't let me change the grill up here. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I'm going to discover it for like months from now. There we go. Oop. We'll leave the lens alone. Actually, the lens is tinted blue on my car, so... let's see if we could just make a color then. I guess it won't let us do that. Alright, that's fine. Leave it at that. So let's give this one more look here. Oh, we gotta put a rat in. What am I doing? We gotta put a rat in. That's another thing. Oh, that's bright. What do you think of that? Like a tinted glass grill? I would not want to get into an accident with that, but that's pretty cool. I'm just going through all the options now to see if I can find something that makes sense. And no, that's weird. It won't let us change the color of the grill. Alright, now let's see if we can put a rat in here. I do feel like I downloaded a mod for that. It's just a matter of if it's in here or not. don't even know where that would be. Miscellaneous. I feel like I saw something here not too long ago. Turbo. Remember when every car in the early 90s had this? Had some sort of turbo sticker on it? Not even just cars. I know there was like... everything was called a turbo. In that classic 90s font. There we are. So we'll put the rad sticking right out of... That's good, right? That works? Gets the most air there, right? Alright, let's see if we can make... Yeah, there we go. Oh, why is the engine so far forward? I think it got shoved back so much. Alright. Oh, will it not let us put it there? Ooh. What's the point of us having a rad if we can't put it where it needs to go? This is baffling to me. There works. I just needed to go. Actually, I might be able to do this. No. Alright, rad's not happening. That's really odd that you can't put it where it needs to go. Now, mind you, that is a mod, so I'm sure there's some trickery you gotta do to even get that to work, but I also got some roll cages here, but we'll have to save that for a different day. Alright, let's put the hood back on here. The bonnet, as they say. Alright, let's see what lips they have available. So those are more diffusers. All right. Perfect. I actually kind of was curious about this. I'm not sure how I'm going to make this wrap around. Delete that. See if there's another one here, because I'm not sure how to make that wrap around. That's like a side skirt. Oh yeah. I won't let us do that. Actually, that fits pretty good. I think we got a winner. It's not exactly the same, but that is the theme of everything so far. Oh, there we go. All right. So, good friend of mine actually wrapped my lip for me to protect it from all the garbage that is the road, and he did a carbon fiber wrap. So we'll put that on there, and that's actually not that bad. Mine wraps all the way around to the edge of that bumper, but I'm okay with that. Now this gives me an idea, because there was one other thing I didn't think I was going to be able to do, but now seeing this, maybe I will be able to. I have what's called a gurney flap on my wing. So just on the very top edge, it's like a flat piece of carbon fiber. This one's actually real carbon fiber. And it sits there and it just acts as a wedge for the air. So there's many different aerodynamic reasons behind it. But basically, I think that might be considered a spoiler. Basically, it adds some downforce without really adding drag to the whole setup. I don't think it will let me put it on that spoiler. Ooh. No. Nope. Nope. See if one of these, since it's a mod, maybe it'll let me. Oh, that looks. Oh, that's on that. Is that there? Doesn't seem like it's going to let me do it. Okay. Well, we tried. Alright, so nothing else has really changed on the sides of the car. The front's already looking better. Is that chrome? I thought we got rid of all the chrome in there. No, I guess not. Oh, I see what that is. So actually, So we'll leave that piece there. Alright, that looks better. Mirrors look tiny. Let's up the mirrors. That seems about right. Alright, next piece is gonna be the exhaust tip. So this looks exactly how the stock SI exhaust tip looks, but since I have the 4-race exhaust, that's no longer the case. The question becomes, am I going to be able to find one that makes sense? Oh, that's weird. Alright, now we just need to make it bigger. I would say about there. Yeah, that seems about right. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's higher. Let's see if we can get... There we go, exhaust cutout. Why is it doing it for both sides? See if there's a different diffuser. Oh, I see. It's trying to cut it out of there. I think we'll try to use this one here. There we go. My diffuser isn't that aggressive, but do what you gotta do. There we go. Alright, dope. That's that. I do have a chrome delete on the top here. And he actually made this a color for me, so let me see if I can. It's like a dark gray. Yeah. High flake in it, because it is. There we go. That looks a lot better. Alrighty. Pretty sure we're done all the body stuff. Make this wing a little taller. Oh gosh. There we go. Gotta be careful in this game. Accidentally drag something out of place and it turns into a nightmare. Okay. So I think that's all the fixture stuff. Now for wheels. So I did find a mod that might have some wheels that are closer to what's actually on the car now. So let's see what's here and go from there. So let's try this out. No. I don't think there's anything in the mods to help us. Sadly enough, I don't think so. There's some cool wheels in here. Let's see if there's something in the sports section. Oh, we got something that's pretty close. Maybe not. Let's see. Actually, you know what? This might just work here. I think we got ourselves a winner. Now, can I paint the wheels? Is a question. Yes. Okay. So most of the pictures that are out there on my car, I have these brown wheels on it. But I actually have a 17-inch set that is like a mag blue. It's like a really dark blue with a lot of metal flake in it. So let's see if we can find something like that. Go to car color. The car color is actually very close to it. So edit it. We're going to make it a little bit darker. Oh, it's changing the whole car. Alright, I don't want it to do that. How do I make it so it doesn't do that? Alright, undo changes. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's add a color. There we go. So we're just gonna have to make our own. That's not bad. I think it's closer to that there. Yep, that works. Okay. So fixtures and all that stuff are done. So pretty much how the car is looking. I'm actually gonna make this a little wider. A little too wide. All right, gear train. This is all staying the same. Tires. So now the tires do change. I don't know if we could see that tread there. But the tires do change. So on those wheels, I do run a semi-slick design. And overall height diameter of the wheel does not, but it is a 17 inch. It's a 255, which seems like I could only do that in the rear. So we might have to stretch out the front a bit. And that's actually the right tire size there. 255 40 17 is the tire size that I run. So we're gonna pull this fender. It's probably gonna look a little obnoxious, but that is okay. There we go. Got some rollers on there. All right, so 255. So it's very uncommon to find a person with a front wheel drive car that puts square tire setup on there, especially that wide. But with the weight of the car and just kind of how it handles, having the square tire setup, I feel like it's going to do a lot of good things, so I'm pumped for it. Try to make the car a little less goofy looking in the front there. Oh, that brought it down to 245. It really needs to be maxed out just to make that work, so okay, no worries. But it lets me push the tire out a lot. That's kind of weird. Okay. Let's see if we can push the back out a bit too. Or should I bring this in? I think that's already all the way in. There we go. Alright, that's looking good. Alright, so the next thing is I do have a big brake kit on my car. So more or less to deal with the heat. So I know that when we tested it out last time, we were running into some brake fade. That is a real thing that happens. So we have a 4-piston caliper, and I believe it is a 13-inch rotor that we have in there. 13 and a half, I want to say. Something like that. The rears do remain the same. And And the pads are more aggressive, more geared towards racing. Not the craziest because of the extra mass in the rotor and whatnot. So it's something that's a little bit more endurance focused, something that won't absolutely chew up the rotors too. So I think 70 is a good call there. Rear force. So let's lower. I think we can get away with lowering the front brake force now. Front brake force. Okay, that's weird. Rear brake force too high. I don't think there's anything I'm really going to be able to do about that, so is what it is. Under tray and all that stuff is stock. Now the front wing angle, I assume it's talking about the lip, is a bit aggressive. So we'll say 70. Factory wing, it's not, so probably 60. Have done a lot for cooling airflow in the sense of ducting, so we'll do something like that. Brake airflow, we'll make that 50, and that should help with everything. There's no cooling flaps. I don't have like a full clad underneath or race diffuser or anything like that, so alrighty. Interior stocks, we'll leave that the same. All this remains the same. Suspension is probably the biggest thing that has changed on the car. I actually just recently installed a upgraded version of the coilovers that I've been running for the last couple of years, so I will be doing a video on that at some point in time soon, so you guys can kind of see what's going on. But suspension is definitely one. So let's just see what the race setup is. Oof, that camber. I really like the car having 255s all the way around. Makes it a Civic that has presence. Okay, so for test suspension with up to 2 passengers, 4 passengers. We'll test it with that. So for camber, I'm actually just a little bit above 3 degrees, which this game doesn't seem to do. It's either 3 or 5. So we'll do 3. In the rear, I'm just over 2. So we'll do that. Let's see if we can bring up a suspension chart here. Maintenance factor is high. So I don't really know what the values are for the springs here. So I'm just going to keep on going and see how it should realistically make this thing understeer like crazy. So 560 is the max. I don't know what unit it's using for that. That's just kind of like a made up number, it seems like. So if that's the max and the range of things, I'm going to say the front is maybe 315. The rear though, the rear is stiff. Let's say it's 345 probably. Or sorry, 450 probably. Yeah, somewhere around there. And then the dampers. See if they max out the same number. Yeah, okay. So if in case you guys are wondering what I'm looking at right now, I'm looking at that chart in the top right where it shows suspension testing. That's basically a jounce chart. So it shows the vehicle jounce with its position over time. So right now I'm tuning the front, which is that red line, and basically what it's showing me is if I hit a bump, it doesn't compress immediately. And if you look at how the blue moves compared to the red just kind of goes through this little heave there and it steadies itself out right away. It doesn't go through a huge undulation. So I still do want it to be compliant enough, but not a huge thing there. I'll make that for now, and then we're gonna up the rear shock quite a bit. And the rear I do want to heave a little bit differently than that. So I think that's going to be it there. And the sway bars, I do have an upgraded sway bar on the back of the car. It is a 24 mil. So, and I do know is that it is stiffer too. So it's not just a 24 mil bar, same material, it is a stiffer bar. So I'm going to say whatever this is, we'll call it a 28, or let me see what this goes up to. Jeez. Alright, so it goes up pretty far. I'm gonna say maybe it is a 6400 bar, and it will make the front a 4000 bar. I think that makes sense. We got our brake chart, our downforce chart, drag, so very little rolling resistance, which is good. That's just our gearing. Now for suspension testing. I think we're pretty good. Steering fast, so the car just goes right into an understeer, which I can attest is something that does happen, so that's not shocking to me. Alright. See how it looks. It's looking good. Well, good is relative, but it's looking proper. It's looking what it's supposed to look like. And that is as low as it will go. And that is it. Somehow we added a ton of weight to the car. Over 100 pounds. I don't know how that happened. Let's go deal with that right now. Take some weight out. There we go. So those are the final numbers for the car. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do a quick drive in BeamNG with the car now. See how this drives compared to the one we drove in the last stream. I'm guessing it's going to be significantly different. And yeah, have some fun. Get some numbers, see what's going on with it. So I'm going to transfer this over to BeamNG right now. So we're going to do a quick pause. I should be back in about 5 minutes, maybe less. So stay tuned. What's going on, peeps? Alrighty. So BeamNG is just loading up right now. And I'm excited. I'm excited because it drove very similar to what the stock SI drove like in real life. I was like really, really close actually. So I was pretty shocked about that. So just kind of what I did in real life, make it handle a ton better and give it a bit of power. That's all I really done, and that's all I'm really plan on doing at this point. So all right, we're up. So let's get you. There we go. Move the camera. I think there's okay. So first thing we need to do is go back to the drag strip. So last time we got the Civic, let's see, I think I wrote down the time here. So let's take a quick look here. Take a quick gander. See what we got. Did I write it down? I'm pretty sure I did. Yes. So we're gonna do 2 different tests to compare it against the stock one. So the quarter mile time we got was a 13.992. So I'm actually gonna put this down here in the chat or in the group for you guys. See if I even know how to do that. Drag time. And then we did a street circuit. And it did a 156 3-1. So that is, oh, that's huge. Oh my god, guys, I'm sorry. That's huge. Let's make that smaller. We don't need all that. I think we'll shove this into the top corner here. There we go. Okay. What do you guys think? Is that okay? I know it's kind of blending in with the track right now, but I think once we get moving, it'll be okay. So does that work? You guys okay with that? See if we can find our Civic. Oh, the other SI is still here, so now we have that one. And then we got the dope version. What do you guys think for times? Let me know what you think before I actually do this run. I'm thinking half a second is a reasonable amount of time to take off. Half a second. I don't think I had any of these there before. Get myself all propped up for all of this power. Oh, I'm racing another... What? So I'm racing the same Civic. I don't know if that's... It definitely didn't do that before. Oh, too far. I should have had this race against the stock SI. Oh, traction control is on. Doesn't matter though. Oh, big pop. $14.6. We're at $14.8. That's kind of more in line of what is realistic, to be honest. Why does it only give me abandon as an option? Let's see if we can race the stock Civic. There we go. There she is. Alright, let's turn everything off. Does it sound any different? It does sound a little bit different too. Alright, let's creep up a little bit here. Too far. Alright. Bad reaction, but whew. 14-1. I can't touch my time that I did before. The stock's over to 14.9. Let's retry that race. Hopefully it'll let us retry this time. There we go. Alright. No traction control. I'm gonna have a better launch this time. Need to get into the 13s. I want a low 13. Oh, I moved off the line, I guess. good shifts. This is going to be a good one. 13-7. 13-7. I'm happy with that. It's like a full second faster than what they were doing. I think there's a little bit more time. Just a little bit more time. So we'll give it one more. And we'll see what we get. We're riding forward. There we go. Damn. Did not take off fast enough. So I think that's going to be it. So I think that was a 13-7, I believe. $13.7. Now I want to take on another car. Let's take on this NSX mod. I'm sure that'll be fair. Oh, that's weird. It just put... Alright. Civic versus Civic head-to-head again. But this time it's the new mod versus the new mod. Alright. Let's get a good launch. This has got to be the fastest one. Alright. That's the new fastest time. That's definitely not the car we raced, but that's the new fastest time. So let's write that down here. Not even sure how to edit this. We'll create a new one. $692. I think maybe there's 1/10 if I really start getting picky and trying to make it perfect, but I'm okay with that for now. Alright, so some improvement. 0.3, exactly 0.3 of a second, which with what has been done seems pretty in line. I wouldn't expect the car to be crazy fast. Oh boy. That's what happened last time. Okay, we're alive. I don't know why the game just kind of projectile you without really knowing where you're going. So let's go. if it'll let me go here. It's not letting me do anything. Actually, yeah, let's see if we can just drive there. Where's that race that we did last time? Let's see if we can just go there. Off-roading the Civic. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fit in between here. Can I fit in between that? Oh, don't get stuck. Of course we can fit in between that. There we go. Something's damage on it. Steering's way off. What do I do to it here? It looks okay, but it's definitely not. See if we can load those vehicles. Let's get a new one. Replace current. There we go. Much better. Did not want to turn in there. Alright. See where this is taking me. Yeah, like a glove. Is it just making me do a lap around here? Brake. Brake's way better. Before I would have been into the wall. With brake fade. Clutch is doing something weird on downshifts. I don't know if that's just something with the game. But I'm released the clutch right now. Until I get back on the throttle, it just doesn't do anything. Oh. My exit. More off-roading. Civilization. Make me do a U-turn? Seriously, game. Oh gosh. I think the game's a little drunk. It doesn't know where it wants me to go. Alright, highway pools. Oof. A little bit of pops and bangs. Alright. Completely missed that turn. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull in here to this gas station. Oh, I can't climb that curve apparently. I guess there is no exit to entrance to that. Alright. Pull in right here. We're going to take a look at the map. Because I feel like our race is right over here. Yeah, our race is right over here. And it's not taking us there. So let's get this over there. Turn. Oh wow. Little scrape. Yeah, that whole clutch thing is a little concerning. It's not letting me engine brake at all. Alright, so now we're back where we need to be. Alright. Last time I did this, crashed a lot. I'm going to make it 3 laps with a rolling start. And we'll see how we do. The time to beat for 1 lap is 1:56.317. Something broke. Already it feels so much better. Just planted. Hit the brakes, it stops, turns with a massive pile of understeer. Oh, this part. Now if the car is lower, it's probably going to want to scrape even worse. Oof. That's weird. It was in second gear and went into neutral. Oof. Oof. License plate has left the car. We have some damage going on here. Does not want to drive straight anymore. I think we blew a tire. We have blown a tire. Alright, let's get back to start finish line and we'll try this again without blowing a tire. It definitely just wants to go to the right. Even with the blown tire, it's pretty decent handling, not gonna lie. That probably didn't help it. Alright. So we'll abandon it. We'll fix the car. Oops. What have I done here? Exit editor. Okay. Don't even know what that menu was. I know I was told last week or whatever week it was how to get a new car quick, but I cannot remember for the love of me right now. Clutch seems a little glitchy. Just on downshifts, it's like not. It's like just hanging or something. I don't know how to really explain it. Let's try this again, but we'll just do 2 laps. And since the crash model is so realistic, it's all about surviving. Dirty burnout. Alright. To the top of 3rd. And we're just slightly on the brakes, trying to get the stops. From the curbs. Just threading the needle there. Oh. Yeah, this thing is way nicer to drive than the stock one. Tap the brakes at the very top here. Sure it gets slowed down earlier. Oh. Don't think I would ever do this to my actual car. Alright, we're cooking now. Get on the brakes early just to make sure. Well, we got so much more grip than the last time. Also sounds better. Oh. I wiped out the exact same. It's just all the caliper is just dangling in there. The caliper is. How does that happen? Hold on, I need to move my camera. The caliper is literally just dangling. Oh! And the back tire here. The back tire is like facing us. Alright. We're going to just pretend like that didn't happen. I was getting way too confident with how the car was feeling, and at high speeds it still will understeer. And by the time I realized that it's going, it was too late. Alright, just like new. Alright, we gotta get through this. I almost wish I could turn off damage, but that almost defeats the whole purpose of the game, to turn off damage. Steering wheel, steering wheel's, stop. Alright. Ooh. Authoritative bang from the exhaust. Alright, so like I've learned basically in all sim racers. Oh my gosh. You can't hammer on the car too hard. This game really makes you feel like you can, but you also just can't, because it drives really nice and you feel like, oh, you know, I got this. You don't. Oh, jeez. There we go. Nice little rotation at the end there. There we go. I'm gonna brakes nice and early here. Oh no. Oh man. I thought it was clear. I thought it was clear. Oh boy. I was trying to take my time. I was on the brakes early there too and everything. I want to put this as like one of the toughest sims out there, just because the damage model is no joke. Alright. We can't spend forever on this because I do have something planned for you guys. I gotta say, it's crazy how much this feels like my car. Oh, what has happened to the tire there? It looks like it's missing a chunk, but that's okay. That's okay. It's a little tad bit of weight savings, we'll call it. Just a little wee weight savings. Alright, let's get it. Game is being very glitchy. That felt smooth and quick. Avoid the curb, avoid the curb. Alright. Oh, sounds so bad. I gotta say, with these tires, with how big they are and the fact that they're like a semi-slick, it is not really getting any ABS intervention, which is basically the goal I have in my car, because the ABS is violent. Violent at best in the Civic, because it's a... oh no. I think we're okay. It's a production car, high volume production car, and the ABS is just meant to protect you at all costs, so it doesn't like when you really fling the car around and beat up on it. Come on. Really doesn't like the high speed stuff. Alright, we already beat the last time, so let's see if we can just improve on it a bit. And we just gotta keep it clean. Oh, that was perfect. I want to get into the 140s. If I can do like a 149, I'd be happy with that. Don't let understeer get to me here. Lift a little, get the weight over the front. Still wanted to wash out on me there, but not too bad. Whoa. It's okay, right there. 146. That is almost 10 seconds faster. That is a huge, huge difference. And if I didn't mess up at the end, we'll say that's probably another half second that we could have had. So we call it a 146 flat. So that would have been 10. Yeah, so we're 10 seconds up right now, basically. And that would have made it 10 and a half. So huge, huge improvement. We're gonna put that on here. Well, actually, we're gonna hop to do something else right now. So I'm not too worried about leaving this on there. But yeah, that just gives you a good idea of how big of a difference this makes. Not that much in the drag race. I'm kind of surprised that it's only 0.3 seconds faster, because it has a stickier tire, wider tire, like 50-ish or 30-ish more horsepower. So you think that would make a little bit more of a difference, but I guess when it comes to drag racing, not really. And I think that time I did before was like a perfect run. I don't think I could replicate that again. So that's where we're at with that. So we are actually now going to hop back to automation, and for a good reason. So again, I'm going to pause you guys, but this one's going to be real quick. So I'll be back in maybe a minute or two. Alright, crew. Sorry for the quick pause there, but I promise it's good. For a good reason. Okay, so we are about to hop back in automation. And what we're going to do is now we made a stock SI. And then we now have made the SI that I'm using. So like with the right amount of power, torque, all that type of stuff. But what if I was a baller and I just decided that I'm just going to make it into whatever I want to? and usually that involves a lot of money being dumped into the engine. So what would that engine look like? This is where the beauty of, like, we've already discussed a lot of things in automation, but this is where it really kind of goes nuts. So let's hop to that right now. See if it will come up here. That's weird, it's like it's frozen. Alright, give me a second, let me reload it. Oh man. Yeah, there's like 3 of that game, right? Let's take some of those down. Yeah. Alright, let's try this again. What do you guys think of the Civic? Were you guys surprised with how much faster it was around that road course, or I guess the street circuit? Alright, I think we're good now. Much better. Let's get my face out of the way. So, the engines that we have right now, this one I labeled 2022, basically what the car is making now, what it's going to make for the year. This is a stock version of the engine. So I think the first engine we should build should be just a naturally aspirated engine, but go full out, see how much power we can make. I'm guessing, because we can run whatever fuel we want to as well. Let's clone engine and variant. Oh, we just made 2 clones. Okay. Delete that one. We're gonna use clone engine. I'm gonna say that we are going to make 350 horsepower NA. I think that's a stretch, but I think it's possible. Now, the one stipulation about this, I cannot change what the blocks are made out of, or I can't change the size. So I can't bore out the engine or do anything like that. The engine is what it is. There's no head swaps, nothing like that. This is what it is. Do what we can with that. So yeah, this should make it pretty interesting. So this is what we're working with. And we're going to see how much power we can make out of this thing before the oil filter pops off. But yeah, I want to hear you guys' prediction. What do you think it's going to make? I say 350. I think 350 is doable without changing anything here. I'm going to start off. We're going to go back to balance shafts. Actually, yeah. Go back to balance shafts. Since money is no object, because somehow I've become a baller, We're gonna go with a billet crank. You can see how that's done there. Very little mass on it, but it is dense. So we'll do that. For the connecting rod, I want to say lightweight titanium should still be the strongest, so we'll do that. Yeah, we'll go lightweight titanium, so titanium connecting rods. For the piston, I think we might just stay with forged pistons. Let's see what these two here are. More of like a fuel efficient setup, and a lightweight forge, you're basically just removing mass from it. So let's see. Oh yeah, this one's already gonna blow up in a stock Civic, so that's not working. Low friction cast, definitely not working. And lightweight forge. Seems that, okay, indicates piston stress caused by high torque, lowering reliability. So we'll give this one a go. We'll give the lightweight forge a go because it'll let us rev out the engine a little bit better. But I'm not holding out hope for it. We'll see what happens. We're going to crank up the quality on the block because we're using the best of the best now. Alright, so I can't change the displacement, but I can up the compression. So I'm going to go with max compression. And we are knocking like crazy right now. So let's go to fuel right off the bat. And we're going to go with ethanol. So E85. And that simmers everything down. So now we're not knocking. That's perfect. And for the cams, VTEC cam can be more aggressive. Same with this. I think should be good. Not changing the configuration of the head, so I'm not putting VVT on all the cams. So let's see. We'll come back to this obviously, but we'll see what that makes. No turbocharger. Can't change this, but we can definitely go ITBs finally. And look at that. Oof. Such a cool design. I like it. All right. Fuel mixture. I'm actually going to leave this the same, but I am going to crank timing all the way up. Let's see how much it'll let me do. Alright, I can max out timing without having any knock. Thank you, ethanol. I'm not even sure if that is E85. I'll get someone to look into that. So based on everything else here, I should bare minimum be able to rev this out to 84,000 RPM. And some things start getting stressed there. Power falls off anyways, so we'll keep that right there. Oh, we got up to quality here. There we go. Alright, what is next? The exhaust. Oh yeah. So for the exhaust, we're going to go with the race tubular. So that's just like a big equal length setup. For the exhaust diameter, I'm going to go 3.5. Let's see what happens with 3.5. We'll go with a high flow cat. And we're at 337 already. 337 and torqued to 19, I believe. Okay, 350 might be possible. We'll do straight through. Actually, what makes more power? Yeah, none. Yeah, we'll just do one straight through exhaust. Crank up the quality on it. Oh, okay. Alright, we've done it. Without a lot of tuning, we've now hit 362 horsepower, which is crazy good. And we gotta put the VTEC valve cover on there. That's going to at least put us over 400 now. I don't know if that's the oil cap. Yeah, that's. Someone put the oil cap there. I'm not pleased about that. The Honda purists are going to be upset about that. All right. So I guess the first thing we should do. Let's dyno run it. Let's see where the weaknesses are. So I'm gonna turn the volume down so you guys don't get deafened. Put it there. That should be good. All right. So it ran into a tiny bit of exhaust restriction, but that was about it. Alright, I think we got that right off the bat. I'm sure we can get more power out of it though. I think we can move the cams around and do some other stuff with it, but right off the bat, let's see what this looks like during a pool. That header glow. Look at the headers. Oh, I gotta go back to that one. You can even see the welds. That's crazy good. And they're still glowing. You can see it's starting to fade away right now. Wow. Highly impressed. I'm not sure if these actually function. Yeah. Throttle flaps don't open. Big sad, but that's okay. Alright. How are we gonna make more power out of this thing? I think we kind of just did all the right things right off the bat. But let's see. Let's see. I didn't think the 15:1 compression ratio was actually going to work, but look at that. Alright, so let's move this camera around a bit. Actually, let's do this. And we'll move the VTEC cam. Nope, that actually drops the power. Doesn't really seem to make any extra power anywhere. But the bigger cams actually hurt it. Alright. Fuel mix. Likes the 12.5, so that's fine. I'm not going to switch to fuel type because it's not what comes with the car, and I don't think many people would change that. We're actually picking up some power with the smaller exhaust. So 3-inch seems to be the happy place for it. What happens if we remove the cat? Not much. 1-2 horsepower. Not even. No muffler. Doesn't make any difference. It looks like we got it. Does less compression help? No, obviously that's not going to help. I actually don't even think I need to rev it out that far. 85. I think 85 is good. You could rev it out more. Is it going to gain any power anywhere? Nope. Falls off very quickly. Looks like 85. 8,500's it. Oh yeah, let's take a look at the... Does Forged help this at all? No, Forged actually has more of a hard time with this. It takes away a little bit of the torque. Lightweight Forged. No, but it doesn't even look like we had to go to a billet cranked. It looks like the forged steel one probably would have done just fine. Even a cast iron crank would have just done fine. A little bit stressed out, but nothing crazy. I think that's all the power we're going to squeeze out of this. So we're going to call this still a Honda engine. So we're calling this the K24Z7, which is the engine code. And you're just going to put it as NA build. Yeah, it seems like it likes the bypass valve adds 0.1 horsepower and 0.1 torque. That's hilarious. It literally cannot add any more timing. What happens if we lean it? Yeah, it doesn't like to be leaned out. Extra fuel doesn't help it at all. Really want more power from it, but honestly I don't even know why. It's already beat my expectations. Oh, valve springs. Valve springs can help us out. So I think that's it right there. It does look like it's kind of peaking though, so maybe now we can rev it out more? Oh, now it wants to rev out more. So now it's hitting its peak power at 9,200 RPM. But the engine is holding on for dear life at that point. And there's nothing to really make the crank or the connecting rod any stronger. What do you guys think? 376? But I can't even rev it out that much. Engine is not happy at that RPM. Does switching out the balancer help that? Oh, the crank literally just blows up at that point. Yep. Everything's maxed out. See if I lower the compression a bit. Does that help? No, not really. Alright, I think it is what it is. We're just going to make it 9,000 RPM, something semi-reliable for it. Still give me a warning for it though. 88. You know, I think we could run with a little bit of a warning. Experiencing high stress, but it's 12% stress. Really, how bad is 12%? Let's do a dyno pool. Let's find out. Alright, not bad. I think that's a win. So we're going to keep that engine. Do a manual save on it. Okay. So now we have that. I think we're going to have to build a car for that. But then, again, we're balling, right? So we have an NA build. We gotta have a turbo build. So let's give it a go. Let's see what happens. So clone the engine. So we're cloning the stock engine. Same rules apply. Regular engine, 205 horse. Alright, so let's get to the very beginning here. So we're going to go with the balancers. Now, I wonder, I feel like the forged piston might be better for this type of build. But we'll see. We'll see what we come back with. Compression. Yeah, I just we gotta max it out. I'm actually gonna leave the cams where they are for now. We'll come back to that. Turbo. Let's see how much power it makes just when we slap on a turbo. A whopping 30 horsepower and a lot of knock. So we're going to have to do some things, but let's just go with the race preset. I know we're going to change some of these values around. And I'll kind of talk about what they are too. So yeah, for sure we're going with the race one. Smart boost for sure. Okay. Go with the race intake manifold. Now I want to know what that looks like on turbo setup. Actually, it looks the same as all the performance ones. Only the standard one looks different. Oh, I guess on a race, instead of having an air box here, it's just a big snorkel for all the debris to go right into your turbo, I guess. I don't know. That's weird. So we'll go with unleaded, obviously. And let's go with the highest octane fuel, which is their dev meth, which I'm assuming is like an ethanol methanol mix. Basically drag fuel. And we're not having that alert there anymore. So that must mean we're making power. And right off the bat, 528 horsepower, 460 foot-pounds of torque. If I got the Civic to make that power and had this curve, where it was making all of its torque at 3,500 RPM, I'd be happy with that. So turbo cars like a little richness to them. So I think 11.7, 11.6 was good there. Ignition timing. Will it let us max out the ignition timing? Max out ignition timing. RPMs. That's that's a substantial amount of power. 586. So I didn't make a prediction on what power we're going to make for this. Just off of what I've kind of seen so far, 800. YOLO. Going for 800. Let's see what we can do. We have to increase the quality of some of these things here too. So turbocharger quality. Let's bring that up. Fuel. Bring that up. Exhaust. Let's look at the exhaust here. Oof, we could go with that. That's actually not too bad. But we're balling out, so why not? The exhaust on this one's going to be huge. So let's look at the chart. Actually, do we have a flow chart here? Oh yeah, the exhaust is super restrictive. So hold on a second. So at 2.5 inches, it's making 591 horsepower. At 3.5, it's making 673 horsepower. And the exhaust is still restrictive. And we still have regular 3-way cat-ins, so let's see. Actually, let's take. Okay, so we'll go high flow cat. No first muffler, and it's straight through. And we'll increase the quality on it. 500 foot-pounds of torque. Three and 3/4. This seems where its happy place is. So 700 horsepower right now. That's pretty amazing. And we haven't gotten the cams, and we haven't even gotten the turbos. Oh man. All right. Let's look at the cams here. So let's mess a bit with the profile here. We want to keep some torque going on, so I think that's a good setup there. I think that works there. All right, turbo. So I think we'll bring air to about 60. Actually, 65 is good. So all I did was re-click on the race preset with the new engine setups and whatnot, and now we have 802 horsepower. I didn't actually think it was going to get to 800. That's why I shot so high, but 800 horsepower, 523 foot-pounds of torque. And look at this torque curve. Like, at its lowest in the higher up areas here, it's 490, let's call it. When does it dip below 490 again? So from 4,900 all the way basically to red line, it makes roughly about 30 foot-pounds of torque in and around itself. That's crazy. And we haven't even upped the boost yet. We haven't done anything to... Alright. Let's up the boost. .900 horsepower. But that piston is not happy. Okay. So let's dial it back down here a bit. Let's see if we can... Guys, 900 horsepower, 603 foot-pounds of torque. I think I'm going to lower the boost a little bit there. And boost comes on basically at 4,000 RPM, which is a ton of power range for us to work within. Basically 4,500 RPMs of boost. I think we can up the boost too. Piston at 5% I'm not too worried about. Okay, so yeah. That's amazing. Oh, and it goes up if we go with a twin scroll. But is there as much? Yeah, the torque down low. You know what? I rather have the broader power band. So let's do that. Well, well, well. 900 horsepower with a cat. That is nuts. I honestly think, is 1,000 possible? I feel like with everything already starting to get stressed out here, like we can up the boost to the pistons experiencing a high torque load. Consider using stronger pistons or lower engine output. Okay, so we're getting to that point where the engine's just not about it anymore. And we can keep on increasing the size of the turbo. It doesn't really seem to be hurting the engine lag-wise. But like, let's just say. Okay, so 1,000 is possible, but we would just absolutely wreck the piston. Let me see if there is a different piston. Is this where forge would be better? Okay. Okay, now we're talking. So the lightweight forge doesn't handle the boost as well, but it allows for higher revs. So that's good. Okay, so if we go with an actual forge piston, it handles that pressure no problem, just does not like being revved out that much. With a boosted engine, I don't really think we need to rev it out that much anyways. It looks like the power significantly falls off here anyways. So I think if we bring this down 8,300. Oop. Even at 8,300 it seems okay. There, so we don't have a rich warning anymore. That means if we drop this, oh, knock came out of nowhere. All right, so that's the limit of boost there. I would really love 700. See how this works? You know, you're just like, oh, I just want like 800 horsepower. Then you get it, you're like, 900 horsepower? Then you get it, you're like, huh, that was easy enough. What else can I get? Okay. Now we have the power coming on a lot later though, because of how big everything else is here. Yeah, so we kind of are capping out there. So that is our 700 technically. It's like 700 right on the dot. Oh, stiffer valve springs are helping with the top end. Quite a bit of top end power. So then, how am I going to get more torque out of this thing? Alright, so 1,000 horsepower is the target, and I want 700 foot-pounds of torque. So now we need to figure out how to get the torque up. Oh. I think that's as close to that as I'm going to get. Make sure everything is set the way it needs to be. The engine is knocking. It is? Doesn't look like it's knocking. Alright, I think this is a setup. This is wild. That's its happy place right there. Let's go over everything one last time. All right. All right, let's dyno it. Oh, turbo VTEC. Turbo VTEC. Nice. All right. 1,000 horsepower. That's crazy. All right, let's do it. That sounds extremely boosted. Like extremely boosted. Let's look at that again, see if we're running into any flow issues. At 1,000 horsepower, I would assume so, but the exhaust by like the slightest hair, but that's about it. The piston we know about. Wow, I'm just blown away that this was so possible. So the boost creeps in pretty steeply at well, at 4,000 RPM, it's at about 7 pounds of boost, and by 5,000 RPM, it's at 34 pounds of boost, and it just stays there the entire time. Doesn't bleed off or anything like that. That's pretty interesting. Compressor maps are something that I really want to explore more and understand a lot better. I have a basic understanding of them, but I think it's fascinating the things you can get a turbo to do, and understanding compressor map is one of the main things. So power and efficiency. You can see how high the temps are up here. This is in Celsius, so we're probably around like 13, 14, yeah, 12, or sorry, 13, 1400 degrees Celsius, which is nuts. Exhaust pressure. Very cool stuff. Alright, let's see what this engine looks like while it's doing that, because we were glowing our exhaust before, so I can only imagine what this is doing. That is bright. As soon as that boost kicks in. That is bright. Look at the turbo housing here. And it's still glowing. It's like the color of the sun. That is unreal. That is unreal. Well, that's what 1,000 horsepower out of a Civic engine, I guess, looks like. Alright, so we're going to call this the turbo build. And we're going to save it. So it's still glowing. That's amazing. There we go. Even look at the size of the exhaust. And just doing the 2 mufflers just to increase the torque. That's crazy. For the amount of power that the thing is making, the intercooler, I guess the intercooler is about the right size. I thought it was a little bit small, but you can go with a giant one. Somehow doing that makes the turbine temperatures go up, I guess just because of the more power. Engine is knocking. Let's not have that. Oh, we just picked up a little bit of power just going with a bigger intercooler. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright, so I'm going to save this again. Alright, so I think the game plan is now we know that the Civic works. The improvements work really well. It does make it grip and drive a lot better. 10 seconds faster per lap around that circuit when I'm not driving like an idiot, and I still feel like I could get more time out of it. I was just trying to make it come around that circuit, but nonetheless, now we have these engines, so I think now it's time to build the ultimate Civic. So we're gonna build obviously a time attack Civic with both those engines, and give her a rip. We might build something else. We might build like a drag Civic. I doubt it, but who knows? I'll post something on Instagram. If you guys aren't following my Instagram, definitely do, because a lot of the information, like when this stream's coming up and stuff like that, is going to be going on there. Also, I want to have a pretty big announcement coming up this weekend. Just something for the community so that we can all interact a little bit better, but I'll post it on there. So if you're not following Instagram, the link should be below, depending if you're on Twitch or YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, if you're on Twitch and you haven't noticed that I have a YouTube, definitely go there, because that's where all the videos are and my weekly uploads and stuff like that. So hop on there, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, so when I do upload videos, you'll see them. Normally I upload Sunday mornings, and I think that's going to stay pretty consistent, but videos like this, notification bell, and then that way you're aware. But I think that's the next step for this, building those cars and make them a little bit more refined. See if I can fix that grill, because I just still hate the grill that's on the car right now. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with everything else that's on the car right now. But yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. 1,000 horsepower. That's wild. That is literally 4 times the power that the stock engine makes. And it's just over 3 times, or about 3 times the power as the NA build makes. So turbos are great. but yeah, I think we're gonna leave it there for now. I really appreciate you guys watching the video, sticking around, hanging out and whatnot. I hope you enjoy. If you're on YouTube, leave a comment. Let me know what you like about the stream, what you would like to see. If there's a game or something that you think would be pretty interesting to try out, let me know, and I'll make sure to include that. I'm aiming for another stream this weekend. Let's see how life goes. But again, if you're following Instagram, you'll see that when I post it. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it there. It's been a blast. Really appreciate you guys watching. And then until the next one, take care, guys.